welcome back to my channel. I am Kim Chamberlain, the Canal Town Stitcher, and I'm so excited that you're here with me today for our video, Flosstube video number 5. This is number 5. Keep track of the weeks, Kim. So welcome, welcome, welcome if you're new here, and if you are returning, welcome back. So I have a lot to show you today that I worked on this week. And so we have WIPGO, we have Maynia, and we have just my regular stitching for the week. I did reach some goals that I had set. I have a bit of a headache right now though, so excuse me as I adjust my light. It's shining like right in my face, which is good because it lights me up and you can see me better, but it's not so good when you have a migraine. So let's talk about the week. So this week has been a pretty good week actually, up until yesterday. My husband's mother is in the hospital, so we are praying for her and a speedy recovery. And my son just went and got his second COVID shot, so he went this morning, so it sounds like they just got back. I can hear them coming in. And so, yeah, we're just gonna truck along and get through the week one day at a time and go from there. You know, hopefully my husband's mom is gonna be on the mend soon and back home, and you know, not to go into too much detail, but she does have a chronic illness, and this is a setback for her, so it's unfortunate that she's going through this setback, but we're prayerful and hopeful that it won't be too much of a setback for her as far as her cognitive abilities and things like that. So, but other than that, the kids are doing well. Ethan's playing tennis still. He's doing a good job. We just had a weekend with his project baby for health class, and that was really fun. Watching him try to work with this little baby that, you know, cries and eats and everything just like a real baby. And on Friday night he was just like, "Mom, I hate this." And I said, "That's not a bad thing. We don't want you to like it. Not at this age anyway." Ryan's birthday is coming up in 3 weeks. He's going to be 15. And I'm just working along on all of our projects. So we are going to get our basement redone. That's coming hopefully by the end of summer. And then I'll have a brand new craft room for myself, which will be really nice. Right now, my setup is kind of in the basement, in the bedroom, in the living room, like kind of all over the place. So I will be looking forward to having one set spot where all of my things can be, where my sewing machine can be set up, because I really want to start making some more project bags. I have tons of material to make project bags, and right now some of my projects are in project bags that I made, and then others are still in the Ziploc baggies. So you're gonna hear some crinkling and some plasticky sounds today while I'm working through that. I really want to get some project bags made though, so that they're neater. I feel like some of the bags are kind of big, some are kind of too small, and it's just not working out with the patterns and stuff. So I do want to get those done. So I told my husband I might pull the sewing machine upstairs from the basement for right now and work in the dining room, but we eat dinner as a family almost every night, so I don't really want to set it up in the dining room. So we'll have to see what I come up with for the next month or two while we're kind of waiting for that project to get started. And I did have a giveaway for last week and nobody commented again. It's okay, please say hi to me. I'm perfectly friendly and fine if you don't want to enter the contest and you just want to say hi. I live in Palmyra. If you live close to Palmyra, New York, I would love to hear from you. I would love to start a Stitchy Club, possibly a Zoom club or some kind of something on Facebook so that we can get connected. My local needlework shop is Hobby House Needleworks. They're located in Pittsford, New York, and you might have seen their ads on Facebook. They're fantastic there. They do have a great online business. I encourage you to go check them out, and I will put their website in, or their name in the link below. You can reach them through Facebook. If you just search Hobby House Needleworks, they will pop right up. They have a beautiful log cabin style shop. It's very quaint and very beautiful inside. And I look forward to when they can offer some things. They were talking about offering some opportunities for stitchers to get together, but because of COVID, they haven't been unable to do that. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that from them when more information becomes available. So yeah. I don't have much haul this week, so this isn't going to be like a super long video, but I do have a lot of work that I want to show you. So let's get to it. I do not have any finishes for the week, and I don't have any FFOs. I was hoping to have Stars and Stripes Forever FFO'd this week, but I didn't get to it. So let's talk about my goals for the week. So my goals for the week were to work on Hello Pumpkin by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I did. I also worked on Let's Talk Autumn by Hands On Design. It's a chalk talk, I believe. And then I started some things because of Maynia, and I have some new starts coming up for the week, and WIPGO. All right, so here's all that. So let's start with the WIP. So I'm gonna start with Hello Pumpkin from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is a piece I can't show you the cover photo because I didn't print one. And I'm not going to take anything off of my hoops. I thought about it. I know some people iron theirs, but I'm not going to take it off of my hoop while I'm currently working on it, if that makes sense. So if I'm working on something that I have plans to work on for the week, I'm just not going to take it off the hoop. But other things, I can. And I do stitch in hand sometimes. I don't stitch in hand when I'm working on linen because I find it too hard to see, but I will stitch on hand. Like when you see my 25 counts, both my 25 counts that I'm going to show you today, I do stitch in hand on those because I can see that just fine in it. And those are both Luganas, and they're very comfortable to stitch in hand with. So here is Hello Pumpkin. So I said I wanted to get done all of these motifs around the hedgehog, and I did. So all of these little motifs were not done last week. I got them all done this week. So that was pretty much for my 24 hours of cross stitch. I worked on this, and I worked on one other piece for 24 hours of cross stitch. And I only did about 9 hours total altogether, which is pretty pitiful, but that's really all I had time for last week. So I did all of these beautiful motifs. I remember I had to fix this hedgehog. He looks adorable now. All those motifs are in the right place, and I love this one. I'm so excited about this. So now I just have this part left to finish the top of the tree, and then I'll be working on the bottom. So hopefully by next week I'll have this owl started. It goes like right in here somewhere. There's like an owl. And so hopefully I'll have a start on at least that. But with all my new starts and stuff, I'm really not sure how often I'm going to get back to this piece. I do have it on a schedule that I started and printed out. All right, the second piece that I want to show you today is Let's Talk Autumn. This is by Hands On Design. I love this piece. Let's get out the cover. So here's the cover of Let's Talk Autumn, and I got a lot done on this week. So I am super excited about my progress on this one. I worked on this mostly like all evening Monday night. So remember last time I was telling you that I had to frog all of those letters. So I did that last week, and then I stitched everything back that I had to take out in the right place, and everything looks fantastic. So this is on 25 count Vintage Country Mocha. And it is floss conversion that I found on Hands On Design on Instagram. So here is my progress. So here, let me fold this a little bit so that you can see. This is a big piece of fabric for this, but so I got all of these lettering, all of this lettering back in, stitched all of these leaves in, and then I went down and I started working here, and I got the whole wagon done, and then I started the A for the apple cider that goes here. So this is looking fantastic. I am really loving this. So I spent a good 2 or 3 hours on this on Monday night and got so much done. I was so pleased with that progress. All right, so those were my 2 current WIPs that I worked on. And now I can go into some starts for the week. So remember last week I said that my son's birthday is coming up. I am stitching some Star Wars characters for him. So let me pull that out so I can show you that. So there's the cover. Here is the the cover. It's by Geo Creations. So I am stitching Chewbacca, I'm stitching Han Solo, I'm stitching Yoda, and Darth Vader for him. And maybe C-3PO, depending on how much room I have left on my fabric. Because I'm using a scrap fabric from Hobby House Needleworks that I got, and they have a scrap bin, which is 28 count legacy linen. So I can tell you right now, I am not liking stitching this piece. Not because I don't love what I'm doing for my son, but because it's very confetti heavy. And I had to frog out some things a couple of times because I was having trouble reading the pattern because it is so confetti heavy. And so here is my start on Chewbacca. So I love the way he's starting to look. I have like a really good start here. I worked on this a couple days this week. And like I said, this is all confetti heavy. There are 4 different colors of floss in here, which is kind of a lot. But I keep telling myself, just wait. You know, this one's the most difficult of all the ones, so I'm glad that I decided to do this one first. I think I'm going to put Han Solo here, and then Yoda, and then Darth Vader. Well, hopefully we'll have enough. I think we'll have plenty of fabric. We might be able to fit in that C-3PO too. But this was a good project for this scrap piece of fabric, and I love the coloring, the marbling on this. It's like an army green color, which I think is perfect for these Star Wars characters. So I'm pretty pleased with my progress. Like I said, I'm just not, I don't like, now that I've gotten so used to like stitching like more solids, that confetti is kind of driving me nuts. Sorry for the crinkly plastic, like I said. Hopefully these things will have project bags very soon. And you won't be hearing that crinkly plastic. So that was my first new start for the week. My second new start for the week was started yesterday. And it is, actually I had 3 starts for yesterday, right? No, I only had 2. All right. So, Long May She Wave by Priscilla and Chelsea, Stitching with the Housewives. I'm doing this all in the called for DMCs, except for one. I switched out the Cherry Cobbler 3777 for $4.98 because I like it better. It's redder. But all the rest of them are the same as what's charted. I'm doing this on 32 count charcoal gray Lugana. progress on it. It's kind of a pitiful little start, but it's a start. I was trying to work on it last night, but I couldn't see very well in the evening hours. I started it during the day, but I have the flagpole. Some of the flagpole done. So, as you can see, this is pretty thick charcoal Lugana, so it's not easy to see those little holes. But I plan to work on this some of the day today during the daylight hours. Try to see if I can get some of the flag in before I put this away and come back to it later in the month. That is Long May She Wave. Stitching with the Housewives. And I just got that from their Etsy shop. And what I love about their Etsy shop is that I can print the PDFs and then I can have the chart right away. Because I was finding that when I was going to the needlework shop to find their charts, a lot of times the ones I wanted were sold out. So it works just as well that way. And if you have the HP Smart Ink, they actually ship ink to your house when you need it. It like has a sensor in your printer, and then you never run out of ink. So, and it costs the same to print a colored page as it does to print a black and white page. So, you know, why not? And I do that because I teach, because I'm a teacher. So that way I can print a whole bunch of stuff here at home, and I don't have to worry about like whether or not the colored printer has is working at school, because that can be very annoying. Those of you that are teachers probably understand what I mean. All right. So next, my next start, I wasn't going to start this until later in the month, but I cut the fabric yesterday, and I was like, well, I cut the fabric, so, you know, let me just see if I like it. I have never stitched on 18 count 1/1. I did stitch on 18 count 2/1 last year, and I hated it. I felt like it was just too clunky and the stitches were too close together, and I hated the way it looked. So I've been hearing a lot of Flosstubers say that they stitch on 36 count 1/2. So I thought, well, if they're stitching on 36 count 1/2, then I can stitch on 18 count 1/1, and we'll see how it goes. So I cut the fabric yesterday, and I was like, I'm just going to try a few stitches, and oh my gosh, I could not put this down. So this is definitely going to be a regular whip. You're going to see this a lot. And this is Scandinavian Forest. It is by Monika Belzien. I butchered it the last time too. She's in Poland. I got this from an Etsy shop. I can't remember the name of the Etsy shop, but if you go on Etsy and you search up Scandinavian Forest, it should come up. Like Scandinavian Forest cross stitch. And I saw this in different colors. I saw this with like yellows and greens and browns, and it was really beautiful, but I just love this blue and orange, so I decided to just stick with the blue and orange one. So I'm working on the first page. I worked on this for probably 2 hours yesterday, 3 hours. And I'm just loving it. Like I said, like this one's going to be a regular whip because it was so hard to put down last night. I actually stayed up late last night working on it. So here is my progress. So this is from page 1. And this is satisfying because once you finish a motif, you're like done. You can move on. So that's just awesome. So I love this 1/1. It is coming out so good. Look at these little motifs. They're just so adorable. So I'm definitely working on this today. I don't know for how long though, because I do have a new start planned for today, but I will definitely work on that for at least an hour today. All right. So now let's talk about WIPGO, and then we'll talk about my new starts for the week and what I have planned for the week. So WIPGO was started by, I don't know their names, but it was a Facebook group, started in 2015, and it is since going to be, the Facebook group is going to be archived this year, so this is the last year that they're going to have the Facebook group, but you can still do WIPGO if you want. So it's really just a way to pull out old, oh no, WIPGO is not what I'm talking about. Maynia is what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, Kim. Maynia is going to be archived. WIPGO is not going to be archived. OMG. Wake up. Maynia. Let me talk about Maynia for a minute so that I can get you guys on the right track, since I just totally flubbed everything up and I'm not editing in this video today. So, Maynia is the brainchild of two people who were trying to work on trying to start new things. They were starting new things. 2015. Oh my God. I should edit this out, but I'm not going to. So in 2015, they decided they were going to start new projects every day to celebrate their craft. And so every day for the first 15 days of May, they called it Maynia, they started a new piece. I am not starting a new piece every day in May. I will go over my starts when I get to that point. And then I'll talk about WIPGO. Maynia is going to be archived this year. Right? Yes. But you can still do Maynia or Stitchania or whatever you want to call it on your own. It's just not going to have a Facebook group anymore. I hope that helps to ease some of the confusion that I so very strongly just caused and so very sadly apologize for. I'm so sorry. And it's not even that early and I've already had a cup of coffee. Oh my goodness. So, WIPGO, though, was started by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She's on Instagram and on Facebook, and she's a floss tuber. And I just started watching her floss tubes, and she has such a nice voice, and she's fantastic. So if you haven't checked her out yet, check her out. WIPGO is a way to work on projects that you've had from the past that you haven't worked on in a while, but you might like need a kick in the butt to get started on them. For lack of a better word. So what you do is you chart up a WIPGO board, which has 25 spots, and I can show you mine. You number them 1 through 26, right? 1 through 25. 1 through 25. Guys. So here's my WIPGO board, okay? Handwritten. Nothing fancy. You can do the templates. There are templates on Instagram. If you go to WIPGO 2021 and you go to the files, there are templates that you can actually pull up and use. So my light is kind of like blocking this out. I just did mine in like 15 minutes last weekend because I wasn't even sure I was going to do WIPGO this year, but then I decided to because I had these starts that I hadn't worked on in a while, and I wanted to make sure that they came out. So because I started late, so I'm starting with May. All the ones that were already called, which would be like the 6, 10, 13, which is the free space, 18, 20, and 21 were already called for the year. I just put in like finish, you know, in those spots. So if I finish a piece, then I can just cross this out and it will count. And I didn't want it to be like too complicated. If I FFO a piece, I can cross this one out. So that way I could catch up without really like cheating. So in May, the numbers 19 and 22 were called. So for my 19, I have It's the Most Wonderful Feast of the Year, which is by Sue Hillis Designs. And for my 22, I have Patriotic Picnic, which came out of a Keepsakes calendar, Better Homes and Gardens Keepsakes cross-stitch calendar in either 1998 or 1999. I really can't remember which one because I took the patterns out of the calendars and just kind of chucked the ones I wasn't going to use, so I didn't chuck them, but I donated them. And so I really don't have a cover for that one, so it's going to be like a mystery for you guys, which I think will be super cool because it's going to be like a mystery sale, sort of, but it's not a sale. Sale, by the way, is Stitch Along. But it's not a sale. It's just that it's going to be a mystery picture to you guys because as I work on it, that's when you're going to see progress and that's when we're going to see what it looks like because I can't show you the chart. With all of that said, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. with all that said, let me show you the two projects. So here is, it's the most wonderful feast of the year. So this one was called for number 19. I love this piece. I love the colors in it. I love the motifs. I'm super excited about this. And I have a very pitiful start on it, and I'm not even sure I'm going to keep it. So this is on a 30, oh my goodness, I just dropped my needle out of it. I better find it before my bare feet touch it. Anyhow, this is on a 32 count standard linen, I believe. It was in a scrap. It was a scrap bin piece. So this, here's my dilemma with this one, guys. All right, so here's my start, which is not very much. I already had to pull this out once because when I was stitching it on here the first time, I stitched it way low on this side. You can kind of see where I like frogged it out. And there was not going to be enough room to fit the whole thing. So then I was like, okay, so then I turned the fabric around and I restarted it. Well, here's my problem now. I'm still not sure this is going to fit, even though it's on a 32 count and it's looking like it's going to fit. I don't think it's going to leave me much room, like much margin space. So because I don't have much done on this, I'm thinking that I'm just going to restart. And I have a piece of antique lamb's wool linen that I think this would look good on. So I'm contemplating changing that out. And I'm not going to look for the needle right now because I'm in the middle of this. And like I said, I don't want to edit. Just don't have a lot of time today for editing. All right, my second WIPGO piece is called Patriotic Picnic. Like I said, it's from a calendar. I can't show you the pattern, but I can show you what mine looks like. It's on 25 count, Vintage Stormy Night Lugana, and it is supposed to be a tray, like a picnic tray piece. What's it called? A tray, just this tray. I think I'm gonna get like one of those basket trays from like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or somewhere and finish this and put that in there so that I can hang it on my wall in my dining room. I started this was my New Year's Eve start, so I started this on December 31st, 2020. And I got the whole border done around the outside, and I now have 3 of the little squares done. So before, and I'll try to insert a picture for you to see where it was before, and then show you where it is now. So I had this one done, and this morning I worked for about 2 hours straight out of my 10-hour goal, because I have a goal of 10 hours for all of my pieces on WIPGO. I got this square done, and then I also completed this square as well. So I'm pretty happy with the progress on this piece so far in the 2 hours that I worked out of my 10-hour goal. So you guys will have to just wait and see how this goes throughout the month of May and watch for those changes because they're pretty exciting. So again, this is called Patriotic Picnic, and I tried looking up the calendar. Good luck trying to find it. They're just absolutely nowhere. Now I'm kicking myself for getting rid of it because you can't really get them anymore. It's a shame too because they had such beautiful pieces in them. I think they still print them, but I don't know where. And so, all right. So those are my 2 WIPGO projects. Let's swing back and go back to Maynia. Okay. So I showed you the 2 starts that I had yesterday for May 1st. Today is Sunday, May 2nd. And I am starting Katie Kitty today. Katie Kitty is number 1 of the Brooks Books Animal Advent calendar pieces. I am not doing this on the called for fabric. I don't like the blue. I didn't like the blue. I looked at gray. I tried green. I was really having a hard time. If you watch any of my previous videos, I think I mentioned it in the second video I did, but I really could not decide what I wanted to do this on. So I decided yesterday, after looking at images of people who have already finished it, online that I could get away with doing it on a like neutral, like beigey piece. And I really feel like the colors are gonna pop out on this. The only thing I was concerned about was like the whites, and I do think that if I use B5200 instead of white or blanc like it calls for, I think it'll be okay. I'm pretty sure it will be actually. So I'm gonna do them on 32 count lamb's wool Jobelin. So this is a pretty big piece. I think I'll be able to get, this is a fat quarter. Yes, this is a quarter of a yard. Good Lord. And each one needs an 8x7 piece. So what is that? 2 across and 3 down. So six of them I should be able to get off of this one piece of fabric. And I'm gonna do them individually because I want to hang them on the wall using 3M hooks. And then every day at Christmas, we'll take one down. And I think that that's gonna be a great new tradition for my family because we really haven't done an advent calendar. Like, we do the countdown to Christmas, but we've not really done like an advent calendar, so I'm excited about this. I think that this is going to be adorable. So I have 1 through 6 planned to do in the month of May, at least to start. And I'd like to finish at least 2 a month. So if I start 6, then I should have all 6 of them done by, what is it, May, June, July. And then I'll start 6 more and then go through like that. So I'll start 6 more in June, I'll start 6 more in July, and I'll start 6 more in August, and then hopefully I'll have them all complete by November-ish. We'll see. So Katie Kitty is getting a start today. The other start I'm going to do today is also a Christmas start, and it is Santa's list. Oh no, Santa's sampler. Sorry. It's by Country Cottage Needlework, which I love Country Cottage Needleworks. So here it is. Sorry for the shiny. It's inside its plastic. And I'm going to do this also on a 32 count lamb's wool linen. So this is the called for fabric. Right? 32 count antique lamb's wool linen, yes. So this is the called for fabric. It's a little stiff, but that's okay. I don't know if you've noticed, but since I started my Flosstube channel, I was stitching mostly on 28 count. Well, I started on 25 count. Well, if you want to go all the way back to the very beginning, I started on 14 count Ada. And stitched on Ada for a long time. I stitched a lighthouse on linen when I was 20 years old. And that was the only piece that I had stitched on linen. Everything else was either on 14 count or 22 count Ada. And so I started with 25 count Lugana last summer when I first started switching over from Ada to more of like a linen / even weave. I started on a vintage Stormy Night 25 count Lugana, which I stitched an afternoon in Paris by Country Cottage Needleworks for my daughter for Christmas. Then I started to sample a little bit in 28 count. So I was doing like I did a gingham greetings stitching with the Housewives on a 28 count gingerbread, and I was dabbling in 28 count because I did Lindy Stitch's Cats Love Christmas. I did all 3 of those on a 28 count mint, I believe, linen. And then I have been stitching on mushroom Lugana at 25 count. So last month I decided to try a 32 count. And I was really worried about it because I don't have the best eyesight when it comes to like the linen, and I was also struggling because my stitches weren't as even on linen. But I was like, well, I'm going to try it. So I started 32 count Lugana, which is an even weave, and had a really hard time with it. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I was stitching, and I still am stitching. It's one of my WIPs, Quaker Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Matthews, and I was doing it on a blue azure, which is, I believe, is Zweigert, perhaps, maybe Witchelt. It's one of those two. Anyway, and I'm doing it with all the called for NPIs, and I'd never worked with silk before, and I'd never stitched on 32 count, and I was really worried, and it took forever for me to find the squares. But like then one day a miracle occurred, and I was able to like see the squares like perfectly, and I started stitching that, and now I'm probably close to halfway done on Quaker Snowflakes, and I'm loving 32 count. So that was a long little bit of an explanation for why I'm stitching on 32 count now, but I went from 25 count, and I love 25 count. I'm stitching on 18 count Aida, as you can see. I'm stitching on 32 count linens. I've got 28 count coming up. You know, so I'm pretty much willing to stitch on anything but 14 count Aida right now. And I think I could stitch on a 14 count Aida if it's hand dyed, because it's softer and not as like stiff. But at this point in time, I'm pretty much stitching on either 28 count or 32 count, and most of the time I'm starting almost everything on the 32 count. So you're gonna see that switch over, unless I want something to be the same size as something else. So anyways, Santa Sampler is getting started today on this antique lamb's wool. So that is exciting. This week, coming up, I have the following things planned to start. So I'm starting a project on Monday night, I'm starting a project on Wednesday night, and I'm starting a project on Thursday. Tuesday night and Friday night are going to be nights that I'm working on my older WIPs. So that's going to be a night that I work on either a WIPGO project, or I work on like Hello Pumpkin or whatever I want to work on. Plus I have to get Ryan's present done, because I'm hoping to get at least 3 of those done by his birthday, so I can at least show it to him on his birthday, which is the 24th, which I think I can do if I really work hard, because the other ones are way easier. They're not as confetti heavy, and they're not going to take as much time to stitch. Anyways, I am going to be starting this week Countdown to Christmas by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I am doing this on the called for fabric, which is 32 count antique lamb's wool linen by Witchelt. So this one I'm starting this week. I think I have this scheduled to start on Tuesday. Or not Tuesday, Monday, I mean. Yes, this is Monday's start. I'm really looking forward to this. I've had this chart for a long time. I've had it for about a year. So I'm really looking forward to starting this one. I'm going to do all the called for DMCs. I'm not going to bother with any of the Classic Colorworks or the sampler threads, simply because I don't want to go to the store and get them. And I don't think it'll make a huge difference on this, because most of the called fors are DMCs anyway. So there's that one. Then I am starting First Signs of Spring. This one is going to be my Wednesday start. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings. This is the first of the series that I'm getting from Crazy Annie Stitching that I'm going to stitch. I fell in love with this immediately when I saw it. This I am also going to stitch in all of the DMC colors, all the called for DMCs. I'm not going to get the, well, maybe I won't. I might go to Hobby House and get the Lexington green and the wood trail for, because I think that that's what the bird and the lily of the valley is, and I think that the bird would be a shame if I didn't get the variegated. So I might take a trip over to Pittsburgh and get that. But anyhow, this one is going to be stitched on 32 count limestone Lugana, which I love. It's like a beautiful, it's a beautiful color. I think this is going to look so fantastic on this 32 count limestone. So I have to cut that fabric. I'll probably cut that fabric today. I'm going to start Peace on Earth. This is my Thursday night start. This is also by Cottage Garden. This is also by Cottage Garden Samplings. So Peace on Earth. Love this. I am going to stitch this all in the called for DMCs. I have all the DMCs. Like, I wish that you could like see my stash of DMCs, but I have a ton. So I'm going to stitch that on this 32 count Smoky Pearl Belfast linen, which is going to be so pretty. It's going to be so beautiful. I'm so excited about it because I could not get the called for Dove linen from Weeks Dye Works. I could not find it anywhere. So this was the nicest, closest thing that I could get to it, and I love it. So this is going to be my Thursday start. A little update here. As you can see, I'm no longer in my room recording a Flosstube, but I'm in the car now. We are at the hospital. We have good news about my mother-in-law, so that's good, but my husband asked me to take a ride with him to come so that he could visit her. So he is inside, and I'm going to be working on some of my new starts that I'm really excited about. So I will hop on here in a little bit and show you how that new start is looking, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, it is now dark outside. We had a long afternoon, and I'm finally getting back to the video. So earlier when I was first filming, my kids came in here and were jumping all over the bed, and I had to abruptly end the video, and that was right around the time that I was talking about my weekly starts, the new starts for my Maynia. And then I have a little clip where you saw me in a parking garage at Strong Memorial Hospital because my mother-in-law was admitted yesterday and my husband was in seeing her, and right now you can only one person can go in at a time. So I was, excuse me, oh my goodness, I was sitting in the car waiting for him. So it is now, oh my gosh, I don't even know what time it is. It is now 10:22 at night, and I really want to get this video uploaded today. Well, it'll probably be uploaded while we're sleeping, but at any rate, I wanted to finish going over some of my plans for the week. So I just got done talking about Signs of Spring and how I was going to stitch Peace on Earth, and those were my weekly stitches. I also am planning to start the Advent Calendar 2, which is, let me show it to you. Honestly, I was just sitting here editing this video and watching the other one all the way to the end, so I was stitching this whole time. So I had stitching in my lap when you guys popped back up. All right, well, when I was able to pop back in. Let's see here. I am going to work on, maybe I didn't pull him up. I didn't. Here he is. All right, so number 2 is the polar bear for the Advent calendars, Peter Polar Bear. So I'll be starting that next Saturday. My goal is to start all 6 of the first. I might start him on Friday night. Maybe. We'll see. I've got to think about that. So I'm a little behind already. Just started. But I'm not going to get to... Excuse me. Oh my God. I'm not going to get to Katie Kitty today. I'm just too tired. It's been a long, long day. But I didn't want to forget to tell you about 2 things that I purchased this week. So the first thing that I purchased is this beautiful Quaker chart that I ordered off of Etsy, and I also ordered the Halloween Quaker by Leela's Studios. So I ordered those 2. I will show you those next week, but I wanted to tell you that I did order them off of Etsy, so that's why I don't have the covers printed yet, and I'm not planning to start the Halloween Quaker until way later in the month, not even this month. I probably won't start Halloween Quaker until June or July when I'm done with school. Right now we are on the last 8 weeks. Here in upstate New York, we go all the way through June 24th. So, and then my family and I were leaving for a trip to Long Island after that, and then summer. And summer, which I am really looking forward to. Again. Oh my gosh. All right. So I promised you all a sneak peek look at my Santa sampler because I started that today in the car while I was waiting for my husband. So I was just literally putting a stitch in it just now while I was waiting for my video to upload. So let me just move my needle here to the back, and then I can show you where I am. So here's the chart. Again, for your, I love this chart. And this is what I got done today in the car. So the whole first top is done, and I am working on the red and yellow, or red and white border. This I don't think is going to take me that long. I got a really good start on it. So I definitely know that this piece will be done by Christmas. The goal is November for this piece. All of my Christmas pieces, my goal is November for FFOs. And then that way I can display them for the Christmas season or give them as gifts if that's what I'm doing. So I have a few ornaments that I'm making this year for gifts. And so yeah, I think that that's it. I don't have anything else other than the giveaway. So, last week I asked you guys to answer the question, what is this from? And so 2 weeks in a row, we didn't have anybody comment. So I figured I'll give it one more week and then I will tell you where it's from, okay? I'm not gonna leave you guys in suspense for this long. So this is a pattern that I'm stitching for my husband. It's from Stay Sane Stitching. And here is the pattern. And so I had asked you to see if you could figure out where this is from. It's Fold in the Cheese, Just Fold It In. It is from a television show, a very popular one that my husband absolutely loves. And if you just make a guess, it can be anything, any guess of your choice, any television show you want to guess that it's from. Put it in the comments, and then you might be the winner of this wonderful Just Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine that I went through and showed you all the beautiful. All right, guys, this is going to be it. That was, sorry, there was just a big interruption. I was in the middle of showing you what the giveaway was going to be, and now I'm holding my phone, so I apologize if it's a little bit rocky. But the giveaway is this Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. I've shown this a couple weeks in a row. And then you get also this 12 by 18 piece of 14 count ivory Aida as well. Okay? Please be 18 years old. And I apologize for the bad video right now, but it's so late and I am so ready for bed. And I'm just going to upload this into my editor and I'm just going to upload it up. And, you know, please forgive me, but it was a pretty day. And I'm really looking forward to this week. And check me out on Instagram. You can find me at kimberly.chamberlain.14. On Instagram, I post a lot of my progress and a lot of my current whips. pictures of them throughout the week, so please check me out there and follow me. And I am going to end this video here, as horrible as it is, and I will see you next week, hopefully in a lot better frame of mind, hopefully with a lot more energy and a little bit more coffee, because there were a lot of mistakes in this video. From mania confusion to WIPGO confusion to hospital parking lots to kids coming in from watching Modern Family and all the interruptions. I appreciate you. I am thankful for you, and I hope that you have